What if the most powerful man in the world suddenly adopted a religion that told him violence was wrong right before his most important battle, October 312 CE? Constantine's army approaches Rome. He's about to fight for control of the Western Roman Empire. According to ancient sources, he just had a vision that will change Western civilization. The religion he's embracing says soldiers shouldn't fight. This is the story of why historians believe Constantine's conversion was genuine, precisely because it made no political sense. To understand what Constantine risked, we need to understand the system he was breaking. Emperor Diocletian created the Tetrarchy, ruled by two senior emperors called Augusti governed East and West. Two junior emperors called Caesars waited in succession. Constantine's father, Constantius Chlorus, held the Western Caesar position. When he died, Constantine should have been excluded. Constantine seized power through military force instead. By 312, he controlled Gaul and Britain, but Maxentius held Rome itself. Constantine had to defeat him or die trying. The night before the decisive battle, something happened. We have two ancient accounts, and both describe supernatural intervention. The first comes from Lactantius, writing just a few years after the event. He describes a dream. An angel commanded Constantine to paint a symbol on his soldiers' shields. The second account comes from Eusebius, who claims Constantine told him directly. In this version, Constantine saw a cross superimposed on the sun with the words, "In this sign you will conquer," in hoc signo vinces in Latin. Both accounts have marks of authenticity. Lactantius wrote while witnesses lived. Eusebius claims first-hand testimony from the emperor himself. The symbol in both accounts points to something unexpected, the Chi-Rho. The Chi-Rho combines two Greek letters. Chi, written as X, makes a ch sound. Rho, written like our P, makes an R sound. Together, they form the first two letters of Christos, Christ in Greek. Here's what makes this significant. The Chi-Rho wasn't previously a Christian symbol. If Constantine invented this story later for propaganda, why choose an obscure symbol? A cynical fabricator would pick something Christians already recognized. Constantine won the Battle of Milvian Bridge. Maxentius drowned in the Tiber. Constantine entered Rome as sole ruler of the West. But here's where the story gets interesting. If Constantine converted for political advantage, he chose the worst possible religion. Early Christianity was pacifist. Jesus said, "Turn the other cheek. Do not resist the one who is evil." Early Christians took these commands literally. Many refused military service entirely. Roman army culture stood for the opposite. Honor came through combat. Vengeance brought glory. Conquest meant virtue. An emperor needed military support above everything else. Think about this from a purely strategic perspective. If Constantine wanted religious backing for his rule, he had better options. Sol Invictus, the unconquered sun, already dominated Roman military religion. Mithraism was popular among soldiers. Either choice would have strengthened his army's loyalty. Christianity did the opposite. It questioned the moral foundation of military conquest. It elevated meekness over strength. It promised rewards in heaven, not on earth. For a man whose power depended entirely on soldiers, this choice defied every political calculation. So how did Constantine reconcile his new faith with his role as military emperor? He didn't become a monk. He understood the Christian God through a familiar framework, as a bringer of victory. Roman emperors had long claimed divine favor in battle. Constantine simply transferred this concept to Christ. The unusual move, applying a warrior god framework to a deity whose followers preached pacifism. This tension would shape Christian theology for centuries, but for Constantine, God had proven himself at Milvian Bridge. The coins tell the story of gradual transformation. In the years immediately after 312, Constantine's coins still featured Sol Invictus. the radiant sun god with his crown of rays, political caution perhaps, or genuine uncertainty. By 315 to 325, we see transitional imagery. Some coins show the sun on one side, Christian symbols on the other. Constantine hedged between old and new. After 325, Christian symbols dominate. The Chi-Rho appears prominently. The cross replaces the sun. This 25-year evolution suggests genuine change, not sudden propaganda. A cynical conversion would have been immediate and total. What does this 1700-year-old conversion teach us about reading history? We often assume powerful people act from pure self-interest, political calculations, strategic maneuvering, and sometimes that's true. But this assumption can blind us to genuine conviction. And the question to ask, what would a purely cynical actor have done differently? If the answer is almost everything, we have evidence of sincerity. Constantine chose a religion that undermined his power base. He adopted it gradually, not for immediate propaganda value. He maintained it for 25 years until his death. The illogical choice becomes evidence of authenticity. Constantine's conversion reshaped Western civilization. Within decades, Christianity became Rome's official religion. The Chi-Rho symbol, first painted on shields before battle, became one of history's most recognizable Christian emblems. Churches, manuscripts, and monuments carried it across continents and centuries. The tension Constantine created between Christian pacifism and imperial power never resolved. It generated centuries of debate about just war, Christian kingship, and the relationship between faith and the force. Every Christian ruler who followed inherited his contradiction, and the emperor who needed violence to survive embraced a religion that condemned it. That paradox still echoes. The next time you see the Chi-Rho symbol in a church or museum, remember where it first appeared. On the shields of Roman soldiers, painted there by an emperor who had every reason not to believe. Constantine wasn't naive. He understood power. He knew which religions would strengthen his army and which would weaken it. He chose the dangerous option anyway. Maybe he calculated wrong. Maybe he saw something we can't see from 17 centuries away. Maybe the vision at Milvian Bridge was real. What we know, he acted against his interests, maintained that choice for decades, and changed the world because of it. Sometimes the illogical choice is the sincere one.